Welcome to aleister-nacht's Satanic audio blog. In this audio blog today, I would like to say a few words about the Grand Climax Satanic ritual. As the Grand Climax approaches us and we are entering into the last week before the actual event, which is July 27th, I wanted to share our coven's beliefs and rituals as we reach this important satanic holiday. If you Google the words Grand Climax, you are sure to retrieve a gambit of different information ranging from anal sex, I guess that's the climax part, to Christians claiming to have demystified the Grand Climax with descriptions of virgin sacrifice and child abduction and elaborate rituals performed by music superstars. Many Christian authorities on the subject of satanic rituals, holidays, and celebrations are simply misguided fools who cut and paste horrid fabrications of human trafficking and baby meals to serve the escalating needs of the ever-growing Illuminati masses. From the elaborate schemes to kidnap just the right virgin, to visitors from outer space who look like reptiles, the stories grow more outlandish and more grotesque every time. If we are to speak on the subject, then let's use facts and the truth instead of satanic panic. Our group, Magnum Opus, celebrates the entire week with daily recognition and observance of sacred acts designated to exalt the Most High King of the world, Satan. The week's activities build upon one another so as to culminate in the celebratory ritual on the final night. While this is a brief description of a week-long event, hopefully you will be able to extract any elements that you may find to be of interest. The Grand Climax, as Satanism itself, is open to the practitioner's interpretation instead of any tired, dead, or meaningless dogma. The Satanist adopts the things that represent meaning to them, and there is no right or wrong way of expressing our love and dedication to our King and the hosts of hell. The Grand Climax falls at the end of July on the Satanic calendar. I have a satanic calendar located on my website at aleister-nacht.com, and I invite anyone to go and take a look and even print that calendar so that they will know what celebrations are coming and when, and what the celebration is based upon. The ritual is based upon blood and sex, the two main focuses of these operations or operators. Each event on the satanic calendar is represented by one or more of these operations and is in observance of the particular date. Satanists embrace the operators due to the magical significance of the specified deeds. Nothing herein will prevent a Satanist or coven from deviating from these operators for certain dates, say. Again, it is totally left to the discretion of the practitioner to find what is right for them. It is noticed, as has been witnessed by our coven, that using the specified operator at the designated milestone date will render a much more potent magic and better dividends and rewards. Some elders speculate that it is the accumulation of the many which result in the magic being stronger and the more intense during these workings. Their hypothesis is based upon the numbers theory, whereas the same ritual and the same operator and the same facility is delivered by many. And so this amplifies the satanic magic, allowing the demonic familiars to exercise greater power and authority in summoning and performing the acts desired of the practitioners. Whether the safety in numbers or the strength in numbers hypothesis works, as explained, is always up for debate. One thing is quite clear regardless of the root cause. The satanic power of magic is stronger on these sacred ritual dates. Blood rituals, if performed properly, have historically yielded greater rewards through the fulfillment of the group's desires. As discussed in my other blog posts, I do not advocate the proverbial pact with the devil, as so many stories of old describe. Some Satanists believe this act of renunciation of the Christian faith and embrace of satanic darkness makes their magic more potent, more powerful, and allows them to ultimately feel figuratively closer to Satan himself. I do not denounce this belief because Satanism is about the individual. If this pact feels right and satisfies a deep-seated desire for that individual, that in itself is enough reason to recognize it is a value-added operational element. There is, however, one part of the pact belief that allows for acceptance, that is, magical reciprocity effect. While not based entirely upon the threefold law, or the balance and reciprocity law of magic, it does explain how magic seems to consistently behave. Nothing is free in the world in which we reside, and magical operations must be paid for, symbolically speaking, in order for the practitioner's desires to be met. Have you performed rituals that produced nothing in return? Perhaps you should evaluate your methodology and gain a better understanding of cause and effect. The blood ritual does just that. You give so that you may receive. It is a gesture of sacrifice in itself, which allows the demonic spirits to close the dimensional gap in order to do your bidding, thus granting your desires. This simple premise has been reiterated in magic books and grimoires throughout history. Sex rituals are sometimes misinterpreted as wild orgies and uncontrolled primal urges acted as drunken debauchery. While this explanation may be accurate in some satanic groups, the purpose and performance of the sex ritual is much more refined, controlled, and exacting. The sex ritual delivers much more than sexual satisfaction. It is an operation that delivers powerful, focused energy. The magical law of synchronicity plays a role as the timed release of the magic is compounded by the group, while the promise of orgies and sex within the coven are great sales tactics to attract and influence new initiates into the coven. It is not to be overlooked as a truly powerful tool of magic. There are many different methods for performing a sex ritual. A high priestess may stimulate a male coven member on the altar until ejaculation, while the coven gathers around the altar. I prefer manual stimulation of a female coven member as she serves as the altar. The wonderful thing about women is multiple orgasms which create an enormous amount of magical energy. I use my fingers on her soft G-spot, which helps control the climax, as well as allowing her to relax and enjoy the event without any apprehension. Timing is important, however. You must be sensitive to her needs and never leave her hanging or unsatisfied when completing the ritual. The week of the Grand Climax is a flurry of activity. Our coven enjoys gathering for meals, and the invitation extends to any visitors that will attend the actual rituals. It is a celebration and very enjoyable to all involved. Most outsiders see Satanists as gothic, sinister, and antisocial beings who constantly sit in a dark room with the curtains drawn. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be farther from the truth. Humans are social animals, and we as Satanists cultivate a feeling of family and a belonging to our coven brothers and sisters. The coven is a refuge from the world that encourages and rejuvenates its members. I hope that you will have the opportunity to participate in the Grand Climax Satanic celebration this year and use the occasion to reaffirm existing friendships and open the doorway to make new relationships within the Satanic community. You will be glad you did. Until next time, this has been aleister-nacht. Visit my website at aleister-nacht.com for more information, and also drop me an email. Until next time.